Okay, so let's get the bad news out of the way first. Yes, there is a 20-minute Frozen short film in front of Coco, and yes, it really isn't that great. Like, do you remember those old sing-along cartoons that were added onto the featurettes on the Disney Blu-rays or DVDs back in the day? Like, this Frozen short is really just that, but stretched out to 20 minutes. Like, I'm sorry, Disney, like, put that on the disc, put that on the Blu-ray disc. Like, we did not need to sit through 20 minutes of that. But luckily, Coco washes that bad taste out of your mouth pretty much instantly. I really don't want to give away too much about this film. I mean, the premise of this young boy Miguel who travels into the land of the dead really should be enough to give you an idea of what the film is about, and if you've seen some of the trailers, they do give you a sense of what's happening, although guys, like, the film blows the trailers out of the way. Like, they don't give away too much, but like, it's like apples and oranges. Like, the film is so much better than those trailers even hinted at. But honestly, I think any more plot details would really sort of spoil what the film really does have in store for you, just from an emotional standpoint. Because look, I'm gonna be straightforward with you guys. Like, I openly wept during this film. Like, and when I thought I was the only person who was crying, like, I looked around me and everyone else was crying too. And it's not a sad cry. This isn't like the first 10 minutes of Up. Like, this is kind of more of a happy, sort of joyous crying that you're going to experience. It's like, you're getting all these emotions coming up and sort of building on each other throughout the film, where you get to a point that everything just sort of rushes up and you just get kind of overwhelmed with emotions, and everything sort of starts to click into place, and the only thing you can really do from there is just cry. And it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Like, I cannot stress enough how severely underprepared I was for how emotional this film was going to be. This is a beautiful film that introduces people to the customs and traditions of Mexico, where even though the movie is based around the Day of the Dead holiday, it doesn't spend a lot of time sort of dwelling on sort of the darker association one might get from a film looking at death and those sorts of themes. But rather, the film finds a way to celebrate life and death in a way that treats Mexican traditions with a lot of respect and love that I think a lot of people are going to be really happy about. For me, Pixar has really been up and down for, last few years. Like, the last film I genuinely really enjoyed, like, that is on the top list of my Pixar films, would have to be Toy Story 3. And even though I did enjoy Inside Out, I did not love it as much as a lot of other people. I wasn't the, oh my god, look how amazing Inside Out is. I just wasn't that person. But I did really enjoy Inside Out for what it was. But for me, that pinnacle was still Toy Story 3, and I don't think we've reached that. But now, I can safely say that I think Coco is easily the best Pixar film we've had since Toy Story 3. And what would you know, Lee Unkrich, who directed Toy Story 3, directed Coco as well. So that kind of makes sense here. I honestly haven't felt this connected to Pixar characters and a storyline like this in a very long time. It's just really exciting to have Pixar here at their A game. I mean, remember back in the 2000s where Pixar was just hit after hit after hit? Coco really feels like it belongs in that era of Pixar films, and I think a lot of people are going to be adding Coco to their favorite Pixar film lists of all time. Like, it's gonna happen. Being Pixar, everything is just stunning. Like, the amount of hours of work that's been put into all the lighting and rigging and animation, all of it is spectacular. I mean, that's one of the many reasons you watch a Pixar film, apart from all the heart and character, but the entire team should be really proud of what's been accomplished here. Music is a really big and important part of this movie, and seriously, it is all top notch here. The songs are all really poignant and meaningful, and are tied to the characters in the film. While Michael Giacchino's score just beautifully takes some Mexican motifs and really creates something very special. I do have some quandaries with the film, and look, they're really nitpicks here, but I think the film can be a touch predictable. Like, there are characters where they're trying to be a bit oblivious as to who they might really be, but like, you've already called it by then. I think it's pretty obvious who some characters are, even when they're pretending not to be someone. And while the film does follow the typical hero's journey archetype, it does smartly change things through the formula to really freshen things up, and it does it in a really clever way, actually, I might admit. But look, there is a villain in the film, and this really isn't a spoiler, but for most of the film, you're led to believe that this villain is a good person, and you're sort of going along with it after a while, and as soon as their intentions are really felt and revealed to the audience, it comes across very quickly. And for me, it just felt like a very sudden shift and complete change in character, which I didn't really feel was like a natural progression for the character. And while for me, I didn't think that character change was all that well developed, I can see some people saying, oh, you know, it makes that character a bit more humane and complex. Just for me, that change in character came across very quickly, and it didn't agree with me in the way that I think it should have. But the cast are all wonderful. The lead, Anthony Gonzalez as Miguel, I thought did a wonderful job. They really get the family dynamics and relationships of Mexican culture right in this film. And it's not stereotypes or anything like that. It's just handled with a lot of love and care, which, coming from a European background myself, I found very relatable and touching, and it just made the film even more special than it already was. So everyone, just please go and see Coco. It is such a beautiful film. I don't see any way that this film doesn't touch you in some way or move you to tears. I mean, again, I can't stress enough, like, everyone in the theater was crying at some point, like, in unison. It's that powerful of a film. And honestly, it's a good thing. The tears that the film brings you are really good, and it's just very emotionally satisfying when everything really does come together, and it couldn't have been done better in my opinion. Honestly, it is unfortunate that Frozen short is attached to the front of this film, which is going to be on the Blu-ray anyway, and that's a bit of a shame, and it feels a bit cheap on Disney's part, but look, it's there, and once Coco gets going, you forget about the Frozen short pretty quickly. But Coco is a cannot miss film. It touched me and really got to me, and it just made me fall in love with the film. I could not be happier with Coco. And honestly, in my opinion, go in as blind as you can to Coco, because there are certain things like what Coco means and certain emotional beats that happen throughout the film and payoffs that come together at the end are really better left to just going in and experiencing it for yourself and not having it spoiled or discussed about for you. Just go in blind, experience it. I guarantee you'll fall in love with it. Coco is a really special film. I honestly think it's the best film that Pixar has put out since Toy Story 3, and I think it is easily the best animated film that we've gotten in 2017 by a long shot. For me, Coco easily gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me, and absolutely deserves a Mono's Choice Award. Guys, go and see Coco. You will not regret it. Take your friends, take your family. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Guys, I hope you liked this review. If you did like this review, do remember to hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below in the comments section. Have you seen Coco, or you plan to see Coco? Do let me know down in the comments section. I am very keen to know what you think of Coco. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, do hit the subscribe button with a little bell next to it, which will remind you of when the Mono Report uploads new content. And don't forget, you can follow the Mono Report on Facebook and Twitter at the Mono Report. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to stay right here for your Mono Fix. Bye, guys.